Hello everyone and welcome back to Routing Around. Today I thought I'd do a what's in my bag video and show you some of the tools that I use on a daily basis as a network engineer. Okay, so the first tool that I'm going to be packing in my bag is my RJ45 crimping tool. This tool has a couple of different functions. I can cut cables with the blade here and I can also crimp the RJ45 bits. So the second tool I'm going to be packing in my bag is my cable tester. Once I've terminated my cables, I need to be able to make sure they work, and what this does is basically flash out each of the pins so that I know that they line up between the cable. It's also detachable as well, so if I've got a long run of cable, I'm able to check both ends. I've got a slightly more expensive cable tester here. What this allows me to do is test the cables much faster than the other tool. I can also check different types of cables, so I can check BNC and USB cables as well. The way this works is I'll just press the button and it will flash out all of the pins in one go. Really useful for if I was testing a patch panel with hundreds of ports, I'd be able to check them much quicker. The next thing that I'm going to recommend putting in your tool bag is actually a head torch. Now, this is extremely useful for freeing up your hands whilst being able to light up your workspace. There's been times where I've come to rack things and it's not been very well lit, so being able to use these allows my hands to carry out the work they need to. Another tool I find really useful when I'm carrying out racking work, or even if I'm just in the office tidying stuff up, is my Leatherman. So I've got a few different tools that I use mainly on this, which is the needle nose pliers, and that really helps get patch cables out of a patch panel. And I've also got wire cutters here as well. When I'm in the office and unpacking switches, they come in these massive cardboard boxes. So it's really easy to just use the blade to open the boxes and also cut them down ready for recycling. Don't cut yourself on that. So the next tool I have in my bag is used for diagnosing cabling issues or labeling issues with a patch panel. And the way it works is that we have a signal generator and a magic wand, which is a signal receiver. When the signal generator is on, we'll plug the RJ45 into a wall port somewhere else in the building. I'll then take the magic wand to the patch panel and I'll wave it around the patch panel and it will make a noise when I hit the port that this side is connected to. So just to show you an example of that, if I put this really close to the RJ45 bit, it makes a really loud noise, and then I can put it further away and it's a lot quieter. Very useful for helping diagnose any labeling issues with patch panels. This one probably goes without saying, but something I always put in my tool bag is a Cat5 or Cat6 cable. Just always need to carry one as a spare. Following on from that, as well as a Cat5 or Cat6 cable, I also carry with me a console cable. Now, depending on what switch I'm using or what router or what firewall we're looking at, there are different types of console cables that we can use. So you'll see this blue one here. This is RJ45 to a sort of serial side cable. Laptops just aren't made with serial connections anymore. So what I've also got here is a serial to USB adapter, so I'm able to use a COM port from the machine. Very useful tool. The other cables that I would recommend are various types of USB cables, like micro USB and mini USB cables. A few different switches have a few different input types for their console, so carry one type of every cable with you if you can fit one in. Following on from different types of USB cables, I'd also recommend carrying a USB-C to Ethernet adapter. I'm primarily thinking of MacBooks here that don't have an Ethernet port built into the device. This is a really useful way for being able to hardwire those. The next thing I'd include in my tool bag would be my screwdriver set with various different bits. This is perfect because you never know when you're going to need to rack something or unrack something. And just having this in your bag means that you're always ready and prepared to do so. The other thing that I would include with that is also carrying maybe, 8 to 10 cage nuts. So there's been times where I've needed to rack something up and there haven't been cage nuts kept in the rack. So I've just needed to put some in, but having some spares in my bag has always been really useful. So you can see what those look like there. I can see that I've got a red mark forming where my head torch was. But the next thing that I'm going to include in my tool bag is going to be a power injector. This is really useful for using with switches that don't offer PoE. This allows you to be able to power devices externally to the switch. So for example, CCTV or a wireless access point. We can use switches that don't provide PoE as long as we have a power injector with us. Okay, so that pretty much sums up everything I keep in my tool bag. If there's anything that you think I've forgotten, please comment it down below and let me know what I need to pack in my tool bag for next time.